Welcome everyone. I do not know what I'm going to say in this video because I haven't really planned anything. All I've got is this list. Now, the concept of the next few videos, or that I put up anyway, they'll be consisting of talking about my favorite wrestlers at the moment in the world. Now, a lot of you wouldn't have heard of some of these guys, but what I want to do is like spread the word of wrestlers I like. It's as simple as that. I like this guy. Why don't you might like him as well. Just give him a chance. Check him out. I don't know, because you might like him. They might become your favorite wrestler of all time. I don't know. Um, it's just little things like that, and I'm sure it's not just me. But if I get some responses from anyone, then okay, I might check someone out there I might not have heard of, or I might check out someone like, let's say someone says Christian. I've always been a big Christian fan, but then it's like, if I go back to watch some of Christian's stuff, oh yeah, I like him more than what I thought I did. So it's that sort of thing, just spreading it around. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And so, as you can see in the title above, I'm going to be talking about my, I'm just going to do like a top 5 countdown sort of thing. But of course, I had honorable mentions, and I'm just going to run through them quickly. Technically, I had 4 honorable mentions, but for the fact of not being able to differentiate between 2 of them, I mean, because I've got a tie for 5th place for my 5th favorite wrestler at the moment, which is pretty scary because I love these guys. Okay, so honorable mentions. We have Ricochet. Who's Ricochet? Ricochet used to be known in Chikara as Helios, as part of the faction stable. The future is now. He is also he also wrestles for PWG. He also wrestles for Dragon Gate in Japan, Dragon Gate USA. Lots of the other independents, the smaller scale. Doesn't wrestle for Chikara anymore. Doesn't wrestle for Ring of Honor. Doesn't wrestle for TNA, WWE, obviously. But primarily he wrestles for Dragon Gate and Dragon Gate USA. And he's one of the smaller guys, but he's quite built as well. Not as built as Puck, but Ricochet's really getting up there. He's, his promos are getting really good. And I don't know, I just really enjoy his work. He's like, he's similar to Puck, just smaller. Reminds me of Matt Sydal, Evan Bourne, but better. Yeah, and that's crazy because Matt Sydal is awesome. So they're really quite similar. So, and next we have Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan, primarily from CZW. He recently had he was recently in the DDT4 tournament in PWG, teaming with Roderick Strong. He was in the first round tournament against, I think it was Willie Mack and El Generico. Sami Callihan also wrestles all over the place. Mainstay in Dragon Gate USA, with the DUF, and doing that thing in Evolve as well, feuding with AR Fox, which is, in my opinion, it's been feud of the year thus far. It's a really close second with who is it? Chuck Taylor and Johnny Gargano, but AR Fox and Sami Callihan so far take the cake. They've been doing awesome stuff. So Callihan recently won Best of the Best CZW tournament. I love that show. Great show, great tournament. I really urge you to check it out at smartmarkvideo.com for, I think it's only $15. I really love the show. Link is in the description box for that. He's also the current reigning CZW World Junior Heavyweight Champion. He defeated Adam Cole a little while back. So Sami Callihan he cuts one of the best promos in the business today. He's this loose cannon sort of guy. He is so good. Okay, next, last honorable mention is Akira Tozawa, also from Dragon Gate USA and Dragon Gate. He was in Chikara's Young Lion Cup tournament in 2010. He was also a mainstay in PWG in 2011, teaming with Kevin Steen, having matches against Kevin Steen, wrestling everyone, and brought out the best in everyone. He's having amazing matches in Dragon Gate USA, and he's just tearing up all over the world. Next month he's heading over to England again, so that should be a lot of fun. Akira Tozawa is Japanese, just saying. Ricochet and Sami Callihan, both from America. Ricochet spending most of his time in Japan, though. Okay, let's get on to number 5, my tied 2. Okie dokie. Tied at number 5, we have El Generico and Bryan Danielson. Very anticlimactic there. Oh well. El Generico, mainstay in TNA, PWG, regular appearance with Chikara, wrestles all over the world. One of the very best in the world. Recently made his Dragon Gate USA debut. Dragon Gate USA Mercury Rising in that 6-way match involving Rich Swann, Shima, Chuck Taylor, Lince Dorado, and I don't remember the other guy. Whoops. Probably should remember, but whatever. Yes, El Generico. He's been ripping all over the place. I mean, he is great. He's in a mask. He doesn't exactly speak English. But he knows how to work a crowd like nobody else can. Like nobody else can. Like nobody else. Because he's that colourful, personality-wise. He's that charismatic. Just by looking at him, just by the way he moves and acts. He's just that good. And then we move on to Bryan Danielson. Who's Bryan Danielson? Who's Daniel Bryan from the WWE? I mean, I still see Bryan Danielson as Bryan Danielson because, well, I knew him as Bryan Danielson before I knew him as Daniel Bryan. I mean, it's the same thing with Claudio Castagnoli. It's Antonio Cesaro. No, I knew Claudio before he became Antonio. And it's going to be the same. It's the same thing with Chris Hero. Oh, who's Chris Hero? It's Cash's owner from FCW. Who's who's Tyler Black? That's Seth Rollins from FCW. Who's Dean Ambrose? Who's John Moxley? Oh, that's Dean Ambrose in FCW, about to make his WWE debut thing. Brody Lee's going to be there soon. That's just what I do. I knew Bryan Danielson before he became Daniel Bryan. It's the same thing with Low Ki when he was there. Same thing with Colt Cabana when he was Scotty Goldman. Low Ki was Caval on NXT season 2 or whatever. So Bryan Danielson, best in the world. Oh yeah, you'll all be saying that CM Punk is the best in the world, but no, he is not. He is not. Sure, he has some, more charisma. Okay, I'll give him that. But Bryan Danielson has that raw charisma that you don't find with many people. What I mean is, like, he can talk, He could just talk like he usually talks, and he can bring in a crowd. CM Punk has to he has to try his hardest. I mean, yeah, sure, CM Punk, you know, draws these big crowds, gets the biggest pop every night, but that took a long time. He was in WWE he was there since 2006, 2005 technically, um, and he's only really been liked for the past, you know, about a year and a half. Bryan Danielson, he's been over since he got there. I mean, Bryan Danielson has made an bigger impact than CM Punk, and you can't deny that. Bryan Danielson won the world title um, about he made his debut in 2010, I guess. But those the NXT and the Nexus thing, and that led on to um, Necktie Violence came back. So really, he was only around less than a month, less than a year and a half, and won the world title. Not many people can do that, especially when you're Bryan Danielson's size. Bryan Danielson is the total package. Best promo in the WWE has at the moment. Yes, better than Dolph Ziggler. Yes, better than The Miz. Yes, better than John Cena, and definitely better than CM Punk and Chris Jericho and Cody. Bryan Danielson just has that raw charisma. Yeah, he may not seem exciting, but to me, it's like a different little version of Jake the Snake Roberts' little promo. He doesn't need to scream. He doesn't need to yell. He doesn't need to make funny noises. He speaks quietly, so so he makes you listen. He only speaks when you need to listen. He only speaks when he needs to speak. He makes his words count. He uses as few words as he can. And I feel that's the same with Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose. Very, very similar. So Bryan Danielson, he's going to go far. He already has CM Punk, Bryan Danielson for the title. It's going to be amazing. Just even if you give it 15 minutes, it'll be better than what was the best match that WWE has had this year? Sheamus and Bryan Danielson, 2 out of 3 Falls, Extreme Rules, or Triple H and Undertaker at WrestleMania. I'm not sure. It's pretty close between those two. So yeah, I've just been rambling, but El Generico, check him out. He's so energetic. I mean, I'm going to review his Ring of Honor DVD, Ole Ole, which is it's got 19 of his Ring of Honor matches on there, and it looks really good. So that'll be up in a few days or so, maybe after I've finished this little countdown thing. So you'll all hear from me later. Goodbye, and thank you for listening.